Infinity Nerd Store presents.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel for another unboxing. I'm back with my buddy C-Los.
How's it going, everyone?
So C-Los, as everyone should be able to see, on this table we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Collector's Edition from Square Enix. I pre-ordered this a while back. I actually had to sign up on the waiting list, and I was able to pick this up. So that's what we have here for you today. As you can see, we have a couple other Final Fantasy games on the table. We have the original from the PlayStation, and then we also have Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PlayStation 5. And also on the table, C-Los brought his copy of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
This is a deluxe edition, Billy?
So with this set that I bought, it also came with the deluxe edition, which we'll be opening here for you today. And we also have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It is the Sephiroth statue or figure. So we're going to open that for you as well. So without further ado, are you ready to get into this, C-Los?
I'm ready, Billy.
All right. So we'll go ahead and start with the game itself.
Okay.
Let me just get this out of the way here. All right, guys. So I took the plastic off. This is the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Deluxe Edition for the PlayStation 5. And we're going to open this and see what we got in here. So the box looks nice. I'll put that next to C-Los's here. So we have the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth game for the PlayStation 5.
It should contain 2 discs on this.
So inside you'll see there's 2 discs for the game itself. And oh yeah, so inside there is the soundtrack coming. It's just letting you know that. And also, if you guys can see in the background here, let me take this disc out, but there is a reversible cover that you can also use for the game. We also have a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth steelbook case, which I actually think that looks pretty cool. If you guys can see that. Inside isn't anything crazy. We also have the art of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in a nice little book here, hardback copy. It has a lot of artwork in here. Had to put that guy in here. I've just flipped to him. Sephiroth is one of my favorite bad guys.
Yeah, one of the well-known characters
Yeah.
from the Final Fantasy series.
I always saw him as a bad guy. But yeah, there's a lot of artwork in here. I can't flip through every page. I also don't want to really mess up the book for myself. So, and then also included, we have a mini soundtrack. Not the full soundtrack that was in here that they were showing you can pre-order, but it is a mini soundtrack for the game, which is pretty cool as well. And now, C-Los, we have to get into this. So let me try to open this, guys, and we'll cut back to it. Okay, guys, so pulling this out of the box. This is the box that's inside. Obviously, it's a box in a box. It just says that it is Static Arts Sephiroth Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So let me open this, and we'll cut back to this in a second. All right, guys, we got it all put together, didn't we, C-Los?
We did.
All right, and here is the figure of Sephiroth. And honestly, the only thing I wish is that the flames down here lit up, but the statue itself is awesome. I think that's really awesome.
Billy, I'm not sure if you played the demo,
I have not yet.
but technically, it looks like the scene from the beginning of the game. Cloud is actually talking to Tifa and Aerith and Barrett. They're in this room together, and so Cloud is remembering how Sephiroth was a wonderful, good guy. And so once he finds out what the purpose of who he is, Genova,
That's when he goes crazy.
that's when he goes berserk,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So I think it's one of that scene that the flaming of the town that he had destroyed. I think this could be one of the scenes with the flames. What do you think? Am I...
Isn't that scene in the original
Yes.
PlayStation version too, correct? I mean,
Yes.
that's why it's a memorable scene.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I remember from back then as well.
Correct. And that's the thing that I'm thinking of what they actually modeled against
The statue?
the statue. And so if I'm wrong, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking that way. But if you guys have some other thoughts or opinions about it, I would love to hear from you guys too.
Now, if I remember correctly, Silos, this was a little on the expensive side, but I love Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, you
It's
do.
still one of my most memorable games back when it came out in 97. They kept promoting Final Fantasy VII on TV, like there was
Yeah.
trailers for it everywhere. Putting this game in for the first time and seeing those full motion videos,
Yes.
it was something amazing to me. And then the story, the characters, everything just kind of drew you in, right, to the game.
So is it safe for me to say that you were attached with the characters?
Yes, very much.
Because I'm actually on the website right now.
Okay.
Square Enix. So just a refresher, the characters are Cloud Strife, Barrett Wallace, Tifa Lockhart, Aerith, Red 13, Yuffie. Okay.
I think it's Yuffie. I've always called her Yuffie.
Okay. Kate Sith, Vincent Valentine,
So
Sid.
became very popular character. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was very cool.
Sid Highwind, Sephiroth, Zack Fair. Well, those are some of the characters. There's a lot of
Yeah.
characters right now. So my introduction of Final Fantasy is that I wanted to try something new. Back then it was Nintendo for me. I believe Mario 64, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and I happened to buy a PS1. And what do I see? I see that with this, and I never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Let me check it out. And it's my very first JRPG game, and I loved it. And I remember, like you said, the intro with the train. The
That
motion-
whole intro at the beginning was amazing.
And then Cloud just jumps off the train.
Yes.
And then you just follow the path, and it's just something that I really enjoyed back then. But to me, it looked real.
The gameplay back then was turn-based.
Yes.
I remember that. The Final Fantasy games have evolved.
Yes.
Right? So playing Final Fantasy VII Remake
Yeah.
was a whole another level of
Yes.
gameplay, right? Playing this game, it's almost like replaying the game, a whole new game,
Yeah.
basically. But with the same characters that I love, with the same story that I love, but improved graphics
I
compared
agree.
to PlayStation. But I still do go back to that game. Like, I still love playing the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still one of my favorites. The graphics obviously don't hold up by today's standards.
Yeah.
But, I mean, now you have Rebirth.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it yet in action, but all I hear is that the graphics are phenomenal. And I've seen 10 out of 10s, 5s out of 5s.
Yes.
Like, it's a perfect game. So I really cannot wait to play it. I didn't get to play the demo, but I mean, I have the game now, so I will check this out for sure.
So as we're recording, the game just barely came out a few days ago, February 29th. That game, Final Fantasy VII, is one of the best games ever made. So playing the Final Fantasy Remake and also the Intergrade and now the Rebirth,
Yes.
I'm so far in chapter 3. There's 14 chapters, and I know that I'm gonna take my time playing the game and enjoying it. But for me, personally speaking, my memories of that game, Final Fantasy VII, is something to this day I never forgotten. I remember the mini games,
Oh, yeah, I remember the
right?
mini
There's
games.
some mini
Yeah,
games in
there
there. I remember the relationships between Tifa and Cloud and Barrett
are.
and
Barrett. Mhm.
how he would curse in the game.
Yeah, but they wouldn't show it.
Yeah,
to us. But
right?
You knew, like, you
Right?
kind of filled in the gaps,
Yes.
right? Yeah, you filled in
Or-
the blanks or whatever.
Or, riding around.
Oh, the Chocobos. Yeah, those were cool.
I took the time to play that, and I think it took me about more than 50 hours to play it, but I did record my gameplay.
I did a lot of the side quests. Did
Yes.
you on the original?
I did. I tried to complete it all. I did own the strategy guide,
I did too.
but I also purchased a computer version that had the triangular Final Fantasy VII computer discs, when I had my computer. I never forgotten the characters, but there was a character that I wanted to know more about, and his name was Zack. Of course, you guys know that There was a moment of that scene that Sephiroth had attacked Zack and he just went down the stairs, I believe. And then I played the Crisis Core on PSP. That game broke me because I wasn't expecting how wonderful Zack Fair is. And to this day, all the Final Fantasy characters, yes, I love Aerith, or I love the Final Fantasy VIII, you know, and then all the other characters along the way. But I would always remember Zack because I loved his personality. He was just a fun-loving guy. Even one of his peers, I believe his name was Genesis. We'll call him Ho. He's just a lost puppy. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
And so what happened to him at the end totally just threw me off. And then the Final Fantasy movie came out.
Advent Children?
Yes, I watched it.
I still watch it.
That broke me too because he was there with Aerith. And of course, you know, I'm not going to ruin anything so far, but Aerith was my second favorite character. And then it's Cloud.
Cloud's my favorite
That's just my pecking order?
On mine, it's Cloud.
What is your picking order?
Cloud's my favorite character out of Final Fantasy VII. I mean, I don't know if that's generic or however you want to put it. I love the Cloud character. I love how he, at the beginning of the game, how he is, and then how he evolves as a character throughout the game. Like, at the beginning, he's kind of a jerk.
Okay.
He seems like, right? The way he talks to Barrett and the other guys, I'm just here to get paid kind of thing. You know what I mean? He's just there for the money.
I remember that.
You know, but as the game progresses, he changes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, by the time you get to the scene with Aerith, he's a whole different character by that time.
My eyes
You know
are
what I mean?
burning.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
My fingers are
Yes,
tingling.
that's what I mean. He's changed.
I never forgotten the lines of Aerith because recording the game, I replayed it over and over and over. I did tear up, guys. I'm not gonna lie. That was very emotional to me. And I would always have Aerith on my team because she would always help the team, you know, with their health. And you're gonna be a little bit surprised about the rebirth of how Cloud is in the beginning.
I can't wait to check it out.
I'm not gonna ruin it, but now I understand why you like it. He's like a Cloud to me at that time. He was like, he didn't want to share his emotions.
Yes.
One word,
Yes.
2 words. He didn't want to talk to people.
Yeah, he doesn't let anyone in. He's on his own. I can do this.
Yeah.
By myself. I'm like, I don't need y'all's help.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's just how he is.
But I love the sword.
I was about to say that. That's the other reason why I love Cloud is that Buster Sword. That is an amazing sword. Like, I always wish I could find a replica or something, but out of, you know, real metal. not plastic,
Right.
you know what I mean?
That would be great.
But yeah, I mean, he's my favorite character. My second favorite character is him, but that's because he's such a menacing foe for Cloud. I was so emotionally involved in the final fight, you know, against this guy, and he's so tough, you know. And the music, that score at the end, what is it, One Winged Angel?
Yes.
Is amazing. That really drew you into the battle as well, right? And keeps you on your toes, and it keeps you like, oh my god, I'm so engaged, my heart's racing.
Yes.
You know, am I gonna be able to defeat him? You
A
know?
long battle to defeat him.
Very long battle.
Unbelievable.
But worth it.
So, what are your thoughts about the relationships within the characters? You know,
I always focused a lot on the relationship between Cloud and Sephiroth. You know, there was a relationship there. The only other relationship I was kind of curious on was Cloud and Tifa.
yes.
There's something there, but not. I don't know how to explain it. You know, like, you remember the beginning of the game when she's like, so you're going to break your promise to me? And they show them when they're little kids,
Yes.
you know, that he said, you know, he would come back and help her. So I know there's something there,
Well,
or there
who
could
knows?
have been.
Who knows right now? Because it's all like not the same, but kind of like the same. It's kind of weird.
So I did see some videos with people talking about the game. I know there's like this whole thing with relationships in
Yes.
this game, right? So I do want to explore that and kind of see how that's going to be.
Beating the remake, I was just happy at the end. I love the twist, how Zack Fair came back to life. And will he be able to have that love relationship that he deserved from the Crisis Core game? Because they were together, guys. Aerith and Zack, they were like dating. They liked each other, you know. And then what happened to him was like unfair. And then throughout the years, the fans were like, man, Zack was cool, you know. Or and then the remake. And then the beginning of the game is just going to surprise you, Billy.
On this one?
On the Rebirth.
Okay.
And then just overall, I'm just looking forward. And I wish that we could have made this video when we beat the game.
True, that's true.
But it's just something that I'm glad that we're taking part of this and sharing our thoughts about the game. And I'm really, really looking forward for the Rebirth to beat the game.
So in our opinion, Final Fantasy VII out of the Final Fantasy games is one of your favorites, or is it not? Now, for me, it is.
I still love 8.
See, that's what
I
I'm saying.
still love 8.
So,
Remember the ballroom dancing, guys?
yeah, so I know there's a lot of people out there. I know this might not be your favorite Final Fantasy game out of the games, but you can't deny the impact that this game had on the Western market for us. Like, a lot of people over here go back to this game all the time. This is one of their favorites, or at least it helped introduce what kept coming after that, right? Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9. Those are great games on the PlayStation.
So was 15.
Yeah, but well, let's go to 10.
Oh my
10 introduced a lot of voice acting, which was something new, you know what I mean, on PS2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many great games in the Final Fantasy series. There's some that are so-so, or some people find so-so.
Yeah.
But this is still the one that I always go back to as my favorite.
I know, because the characters, once again, like throughout the years, like Cloud feels guilty of what happened to Aerith. Like, it had been children.
Yes, yeah.
What did he say? Can you forgive me? I think there was a part, like a flashback. He's on a motorcycle, and then he comes into a flashback, and then that wonderful music with Aerith, and everything was like, what do you mean? And they just move on.
You know what's funny, guys, is when Final Fantasy Remake came out, I don't think we really had the channel going yet when the first game came out. And I bought the collector's edition of that one as well, and it has Cloud on his motorcycle, Play Arts figure, and I actually have that. I would have brought it here for this, but I mean, I'd have to go and kind of look for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have it boxed up and everything.
Yeah.
But that would have been cool to bring on here as well. I bought this with the intention of I wanted this game, right? I wanted this statue.
Yes.
Also for you guys as well, so you can see, what it looks like, what it is. But when I bought Final Fantasy VII Remake Collectors, I bought that because I love Final Fantasy. We didn't even have a YouTube channel going yet.
Before our video days, we always talked about Final Fantasy.
We did. So you're saying 8 was your favorite. So my brother's is 9 and 3. I just talked to him about this because I told him about this statue.
And Izzy's a big fan too.
He is a big fan of Final Fantasy, but his favorite
and
is,
what's up,
I think
Izzy?
his favorite is 9. He also said he got to replay 3.
He did?
And he said that one is a great game. They do have the collection you can buy of the original ones on Steam.
Yeah.
So you can buy some of those. They did come out with a collector's edition of that. Unfortunately, I was not able to purchase that, and it's very expensive now.
To be honest with you, I do recall Final Fantasy 3, and I was like, what is that? I do recall Final Fantasy 1. I'm just imagining the title. There's like a cross or whatever, like 2 swords.
Yeah.
The cover of it,
Yes.
back in Kmart days.
I'm going to be a little nerd here and tell everybody else. So my lock screen for my phone is Cloud. My background is this guy right here in this pose. If you call me, it's the Final Fantasy theme. And then if I get a text message, it's Limit Break. I really am a fan.
Yeah.
My friend Silos here got me this hat just so I could wear. I bought this shirt just because I knew we were going to eventually talk about Final Fantasy in some form or fashion. I'm sorry if I'm nerding out, but this is one of my favorite games.
And I think that game, like, I never got tired of that. When you're beating the enemies, what happens when you beat every enemy? That iconic.
Oh, the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
I never get tired of it. And so I was like, will the Rebirth or Remake have that? For each one?
Yeah.
But of course it doesn't. But
They've made some changes, but I do like that it's evolved.
Yeah.
But it's still a beloved game enough to where the developers went back and did such a great job of bringing this up to date.
Yeah.
For today's standards. So I'm very hopeful that maybe with the popularity of this, they can do another remake, let's say Final Fantasy VIII or even Final Fantasy IX. Those are 2 other great games that could use an update.
So what are your thoughts about just people just saying that, okay, Final Fantasy VII is only well known because of a character, Aerith, passing away?
I don't believe that.
Getting murdered.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that. The story, the characters, everything about that game was easy to pick up for people who are new to RPGs. The fighting, the upgrade system isn't too hard to learn with the materia. The character development is very well done. The story's well done. The full motion video was something that we hadn't really seen.
Yeah.
Just the 3D world that they put in, everything about that game was almost like perfect.
Yeah.
The game itself should stand on its own besides that. I mean, that's just great storytelling.
Well, I haven't heard your thoughts about Aerith. How did you feel about that?
If
If you don't mind me asking, because, I throughout the years, I always shared this, like, I can't believe that happened.
I know you always said that you teared up a bit, right?
I did.
Okay, so
I did, guys.
I don't want to show my character at that time when I played this game, but to be honest with you, I was a little upset, and then I started thinking, well, what about all the stuff I upgraded her with? Am I gonna lose all that? Now, is that a mean way to look at it? Yes. You have to think about it, though. I was a different person around that time, so I was a lot younger. I had a different mentality at the time.
I had a lot of Phoenix Downs. You know what I mean?
That's the second thing I thought of. What about all this stuff? You know, all the items she had, the materia, like it's all gone. You know, like I've never shared that with you because I didn't want you to
hurt my feelings.
I didn't want you to look at me in a bad way.
You're sad.
Yeah, in a bad way because you were taking it.
I took it hard.
Yeah, you were taking it that way, and I was taking it a whole different way.
I was attached to her. So Billy, as you know, Final Fantasy VII has a lot of memorable
attacks.
Right?
Yeah, different things.
Whatever storyline, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
So, do you recall any of your favorite limit breaks of any character?
The first time I used Braver, I was like, what is this? What's the most memorable to you? I know what my most memorable is.
I think Sephiroth, like whenever he uses, and then the world.
Oh, the supernova.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. It's been years.
Yeah, that one was terrifying.
And I would always like.
Because I was like,
I had to start over.
Well, no, it's not that. It's not just that. It's like when you see it coming at you, you're like,
yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. This is it.
Of course, Cloud, everybody knows whenever I beat Sephiroth.
The Omni Slash. That one is like the best one. What I like, though, the Advent Children movie at the end.
Yeah.
With all those swords.
Yeah.
Or the pieces of the swords, because that Buster sword gets all put together, right?
Yeah.
But he has, like, they're all over the place, and he's like, slash.
Wow.
Like, I think that scene was amazing.
Okay.
Right? And if I can use a clip of it here, I will, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Even the summons. You remember the summons?
Yeah, because you needed that to make your life easier between the harder bosses throughout the game. Even the summons here, the remake and the rebirth.
Graphically and everything, it's way more intense.
Isn't it unbelievable, man?
7 for its time.
Yeah.
You know, it was amazing. Being able to revisit it now.
Yeah, I remember the remake. I forgot the summon's name, but it's like a horse. And he slashes one time.
Oh, yeah.
And then the enemies are gone. No matter what, guys.
Yeah,
I love when that summon would always come out.
God, I should have did my homework. Like I said, it's been a little while
last
since
minute,
I played
guys.
these.
This is last minute.
Yeah, I just wanted to get this out. I wanted you guys to be able to see it. Obviously, I also opened it because I want to play it.
Oh, yes, of course.
As soon as possible.
My recommendation is for you guys to prepare yourselves. Things to do first on the rebirth. I think it'll be helpful and impactful towards your gameplay. I want to learn the combat. I want to learn what material I need to become stronger from the get-go so that I won't be miserable like mid part of the game and then I'm like stuck up beating this terrible boss.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. It's exciting, guys. This is exciting time. So Billy, of course there's more games coming out like Paper Mario, the 1000 Year Door.
Oh yeah, 1000 Year Door is coming
the
back
new
out.
Princess Peach. So before I buy those games, I'm gonna focus on beating this first and then buy those games. So Billy, what a great presentation you have. I love the statue. I was just wondering and curious to see. I know how much a huge fan you are. Is there any final thoughts you want to give to our viewers? Do you have anything to add, that you want to share?
Going back to 97. I spent an entire week playing it right before I went to the military. Okay. So I just, I stopped working. I was kind of nervous or where I was about to go in my life. And this was the game I played and finished right before I got deployed. I don't know if that's another reason why this game sticks so much with me, because going to the military was a turning point in my life where I wasn't thinking of where's all the stuff I gave Aerith. Because I changed my military changed me.
You're being a hero.
No, just
and thank you for your service, by the way.
No problem. Yeah, no, the military changed me for the better, but this game really sticks with me, and I don't know if maybe that's another reason why. But honestly, if you've never played this game ever, it's a game that you should play. I'll just put it that it is a must play. It should be on anyone's list. It's a must play, whether you play the original on the PlayStation, whether you go and check out the remake or Rebirth. If you've never checked it out, check it out. That's all I really can say.
I am 100% with you. I'm thankful to play these games. It means a lot to me of you sharing your thoughts about how much you love the game. I think it's something like Billy had mentioned that for you guys to check it out if you guys haven't yet. For me, speaking to myself about the love of the Final Fantasy, it's something that I would hold always like one of the top 10 games of my life.
Yeah, I would definitely put that
Billy,
in the top 10.
We're not exaggerating when we say this, but we played more than 1,000 games in her life, right?
Oh, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
I know I have, and I know
Yeah,
you have.
Definitely.
Am I thinking the right way that I could consider this one of the best top 10 games of all time in my life?
Well, I mean, yeah, because there's tons of video games out there. Like you said, I know we played over 1,000.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now. But how many of them were that memorable?
Yeah.
How many of them was one of those games that you just
True.
come back to? I own a lot of games too, but there's only those choice few that, whether it's the story, whether it's the music, all of that together, that makes that one game that I can't forget. And this was one of those. All right, guys, thank you for joining us today. We hope you liked this unboxing. Let us know in the comments below. Did you buy the deluxe edition? Did you buy the regular edition? Did you buy this edition? Let us know what you thought of this edition.
Mm-hmm.
I personally love this statue. I think it's amazing.
It is.
I cannot wait to check out this game. I know you've already checked out the demo.
I checked out the demo, and I also purchased it digitally
And physically.
And physically.
Yeah, so if that doesn't show you he's a fan,
Yeah.
I don't know what will.
And I'm glad that you opened yours, Billy, so I don't have to open this one.
There you go. So maybe you guys can do that as well. I've opened it for you, so you don't have to. You can just keep a clean copy on the shelf, right? Yeah, but let us know in the comments below. What do you think of Final Fantasy? Which Final Fantasy is the highest on your list? And I guess we'll see you guys on the next one. Later.